Enchanted Tiki Talk is brought to you by Kingdom Strollers. Our premium stroller and crib rentals are delivered straight to your Disney or Orlando area resort. It couldn't be easier. Book yours at kingdomstrollers.com. And Mouse Pros. Let our travel specialist plan your next vacation. Our concierge level service gives you the perfect hassle-free vacation. Get your free quote from Sean or any of our magical agents at mousepros.com. And Mickey Monthly, the Disney fans' monthly subscription box that brings the magic right to your door. Visit them at mickeymonthly.com. And now, it's show time!
In the tiki 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 hut, in the tiki 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 hut, all the birds talk Disney and the listeners swoon. In the tiki 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 hut, welcome to our enchanted hideaway, you lucky people, you. If you weren't listening starting right away, we'd be out of an audience too. In the tiki 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 hut, in the tiki 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 hut, in the tiki 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 hut, in the tiki 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 hut.
Hello and welcome to Enchanted Tiki Talk Podcast. This is episode 250 for the week of August 5th, 2018. Hello everybody and thank you for coming back again this week after last week's Mouscellaneous episode where anything came out of my head, and apparently it did. You know, maggots for all.
My therapist earned his money this week, I'll tell you that much. It was a lot of hours spent there.
Nothing really new news-wise at the time of the recording. I know that the new menus came out for Food and Wine. We'll go over that another time. There's no reason to really talk about that with the news. But one thing we had talked about tonight was the Kiss Goodnight. We were talking about earlier how really it's a great send-off at the Magic Kingdom, and I don't know how often we actually talk about the Kiss Goodnight, but I'm glad that they do it. I'm glad that when you see cast members get involved and will blow a kiss goodbye to the castle. It's not like the lights go out for the evening, but it's just a cute little send-off with great music, a little light show going on in the castle. And like I said, it's just like the perfect way to say goodbye to the Magic Kingdom for the evening.
It is a lot. It's a lot of fun, and it's 2 minutes long, 2 minutes 30 seconds long. Great show. Very, very quietly saying goodbye, and then after it, 2 seconds later, I always think of the Jungle Cruise. Get out.
Yeah,
basically.
I was about to say, it's a very Disney way of saying, okay, would you please leave so we can all go home? That's kind of what, but it's a nice way of doing it.
Yeah.
It's really
And
cool.
it takes place about 20 to 30 minutes after the park closes, I think. Mm-hmm. It's about right?
They were doing it when I was there over the weekend. They were doing it exactly at 11.
Okay.
I mean, what was interesting was that 15 minutes before, they turned the music up fast around the hub area. They started putting lights up on the castle, and you start thinking, wow, they're pushing out the heavy music, the really happy music, which gets people to start moving faster. So you're thinking, oh, they're moving faster towards the hub or get faster out of the park? I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, they want you out. Time to go home, go to bed.
Yeah.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Right, exactly.
Basically what it is. Go to the Springs, they'll take your money.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. We are back from break, so on this week's episode, we are starting a new show idea, segment, a monthly thing going on. Who knows? We'll see how it works out. And we call it Magic and the Meh.
Meh.
Meh. It's basically things that we think are magical and things that just aren't really magical. That just, meh. Just isn't there. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our journey into the parks. We'll try resorts, we'll try foods and whatnot. We'll just see where this takes us. And I guess we can probably start off at let's go start off with Epcot here. And I'm going to start off with my meh. Okay. I'll leave the magic for later. So basically what I think isn't really up to snuff there is the Pixar Short Festival. I just think that in the years since that, like, Captain EO has come back, and it's been many years now, that they could have easily come up with a new 3D show to replace Captain EO and then replace Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. So it's just a little bit of a disappointment that nothing new has come into that spot there in Epcot. I just wish they could. There's so many things that they could have done. It's nice that they have Pixar shorts in there. I mean, at least that's something. But couldn't Pixar have come up with a 3D film that easily could have fit into there? I mean, imaginations could have run wild. I mean, they could have come up with 10,000 different ideas in probably a week that could have easily fit in there that would have worked. But nope, it's just really just like a holding space.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's something easy and cheap that they can put in there. It's like a lot of things. I mean, they stopped doing the One Man's Dream at the studios and put in previews of movies. I did actually see the One Man's Dream was back. I'm not sure if it was like just until there's a new film preview or not, which I was happy about that. But yeah, I mean, like you said, they could have easily done like 10,000 things with that space.
It seems like they put something in to hold it, a space holder, and the space holder just stays there and stays there and stays there. And it just becomes, while it's cute and people who are new come to and look, get away when it's hot and get a place to go into when it's raining. There just seems to be more that can be done.
Exactly. I wish they would do something. Just, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Steve, what you got for meh?
Come back to me on my Epcot meh.
Okay.
Come back to me on my Epcot meh.
He's on the meh fence. This was a hard one for me. I kind of said the attractions as a whole. It seems like they screwed up Soarin', in my opinion.
I agree.
With the curved screen, and in that Spaceship Earth, although iconic and classic, it's one if I don't ride it, I'm okay with. Test Track is okay. It's like I like the new features, but it seems like that park has relied too much on its festivals.
Well, the park has no identity anymore. That's the problem.
Well, right. But that they have kind of said, well, the people will come regardless of our attractions as long as there is food and wine and flower and garden and festival of the arts and stuff like that. If they haven't spent a ton of time the attractions themselves.
There's some, I mean, I'll disagree with you on Soarin'. I love Soarin'. But I agree that there's just... there seems to be the mishmash. They put all of these attractions in originally, and they haven't kept up with the times. And there's no theming, and there's no. It has become festival center. I mean, there's over 200 days of the year are dedicated to festivals.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Yeah, it doesn't know what it wants to do. It doesn't know. Them adding two new attractions to the park that still aren't going to open up for 2 to 3 years. 2 attractions still isn't enough for that park. I mean, they should be blowing out, like I said before, the Pixar movie short festival. There should be a new 3D show going in there. They should be redoing the Figment attraction, bring back the Dreamfinder. They're going to have to throw in another attraction beyond that into there. There's just not enough going on in that park. Really, I mean, it's always been funny where you could say it was Animal Kingdom was a half-day park for a long time. Hollywood Studios before Toy Story opened was a quarter-day park for myself and a lot of people.
Yeah.
And even now with Toy Story, maybe it's a half-day park because there's just not enough to do. But realistically, you take World Showcase out of Epcot, and that's a quarter-day park, really. You know, there's not much going on in that park if you don't have World Showcase.
Agreed.
Yes.
So hopefully Steve had enough time to come up with his meh.
Maybe. I mean, originally it was going to be that I don't like the idea of the festival, it being just the festival. We hit on that. The Garden Grill restaurant in the land, it just doesn't do it for me. I always, you know, there are times it's open, there are times it's not. There is the characters going around once in a while. The food is okay. It just doesn't seem. It seems to have been. It's just there, and it remains there. And I could do without it. I never suggest it for people.
I can agree with you to a certain point. I think I've done breakfast and I've done lunch, and I don't think that the lunch is good. It's okay. I think the breakfast is much better, but even then, at the price point they're charging is way too high. But I mean, you're gonna get that at any of the Disney character meet and greets. But I mean, it's just okay. It's fun spinning around, but it's not like life changing or anything like that.
It's meh.
Right? Yeah, it's true. It is really. All right, so let's do some good news here. Let's go to the magic in the park, and for me, the magic overall is World Showcase. I think that's where the magic lies in that park. I think that's really where the only magic is that's truly left in that park, especially when it comes to nighttime. And you could spend episodes and episodes talking about World Showcase because there's so much to see. There's a decent amount of things to do. There's plenty to eat. There's a whole lot more to drink than anything else. You throw the festival into it, then it's a whole new ball game. But overall, I enjoy walking around the countries, interacting with the cast members from different countries. It's fun. You know, it's unique. You see the most beautiful people in the world that are in Norway. You know, they're just all gorgeous, and you know, it's just fun interacting with any of the cast members when you can. And I think I'm glad that Disney still brings the people from that host country to come work in those pavilions, because I think that truly what makes the World Showcase pavilions.
I agree. I mean, I had mine. Actually, the international cast members, I put that as my magical. It's so fun, interact with them and ask them stuff and just like spend some time interacting with them. Everyone that I've met has been extremely nice, eager to share their culture with you. I do enjoy the performers too that they have at
yes,
almost each of the pavilions. It takes you like away from Florida for like a little bit, and it transports you to that country, and that's for me that's what that park is all about.
I definitely agree. I mean, for me, the magic is I'll get more specific on the performers. It's the Voices of Liberty.
Oh yeah,
I love. I mean, when I think of magic, I think of, you know, as you said, getting transported away for a moment, or getting that smile on your face, or just getting that feeling. And the choral group is phenomenal, the a cappella group, and sitting down in that rotunda and listening to the acoustics of the songs, it's just a very nice concert. It's a good concert. I mean, I go in there without even going to see the American Adventure the show. But I just like to hear them. They're very inspirational. It's a great 15 minutes break, and it does get you revved up. And the voices are just, I mean, like you said, the talent, the voices are so phenomenal.
It is definitely magical having them in there, and then having them part of different things that happen in Epcot, from the Christmas celebration, the narrator. Candlelight Processional, having them in there, and then having them on the 4th of July celebrations. Anytime there's a celebration at Epcot for an anniversary, they bring out the Voices of Liberty. The Voices of Liberty are used whenever they can, and it's just it does add magic to that park.
If you don't get chill bumps when you're sitting there, I swear that you're an animatronic, because it's amazing to hear them sing, and it's one of those things that you make a point to see at least once or twice a trip. I mean, it's just it's amazing.
All right, so let's take the boat on over to Hollywood Studios and to the so-called half-day park, and we'll start with the magic here. And the magic for me is going to be the Tower of Terror. And the Tower of Terror, I think, is a near perfect attraction in so many ways. From the music to the theming, you're walking the grounds, and that's going to prepare you for what's going to come inside. You have the music that's, the old-time music back in the day. You have the water fountains that no longer have water in them. There's cracks everywhere. And then you work your way up to the front door there, and you're stepping in time where time literally has stopped in front of you. Cobwebs, and there's dust everywhere, and it's just time has completely stopped. It's like I said, it's like the perfect attraction. From there you go on. From there, if that's all you got to see, that would be like a creepy haunted house walkthrough, just getting to that point. I just think that the queue and the whole show from then on, interacting with some of the cast members, is just fabulous. Especially when some ones you get at the front before you get in there, or the ones that are making you buckle in when you're getting into the elevator itself. Mm-hmm. It could be chilling, and it's just so much fun. It's just magical. It's the cast members. It's just everything that happens there is just magic in a bottle, and it's so hard to replicate that.
If you listen to the show for years, I used to be meh.
Right.
For the Tower of Terror, the more and more that I slow down and take time to actually appreciate the details with each and every trip. It's one of those, like Sean said, that is near perfect. I mean, it's not from a Disney movie or anything, but for those of us that know this show and have appreciated that show, it's just a fantastic attraction.
Anything that can transport you, anything that can take you to get those goosebumps, to get that feeling of, wow, this is so strange and so weird, and the detail involved is always magical there, and that's definitely one of my favorite rides.
So Keith, I guess we'll go with you. Your magical, is it going to be a turkey leg?
Actually, no. Since I've started enjoying a thinner me, the turkey legs and all of that sodium haven't really been as attractive as it used to be. But I guess this is kind of a theme with me and magical stuff. The Citizens of Hollywood. I know that I talk a lot about the cast members and the street performers and the live entertainment there. The Citizens of Hollywood are such a different breed of a performer. There's comedy, there is physical comedy, there's improv it's involved when they interact with the kids and the guests. It is literally, it's like a half an hour stage show if you stop and watch it. It's fantastic. They are so funny. They stay in characters to a T. Like I said, the interactions that they do, quick thinking, it's really, really cool to stop and watch them perform.
It is. I mean, the magic. I mean, and they can do it separately. They can do it all together, which is great when they come and they do their mock radio show and they're having fun, right. Or they can each come out individually, which is a very unique thing, I think, at Hollywood Studios, is the troupe that could go off separately and then come together and do something special.
Yeah, it's I'm glad, Keith, that you're mentioning the extra performers, the street performers, because
Bueller.
Sorry, it was on mute. So I'm glad that you mentioned the street performers in the parks, because a lot of people don't take the time, even myself, don't take the time to sit and watch them all the time. I'll interact with the characters on Main Street, the mayor, and whatnot. I enjoy that. If the fire chief is out, I'll talk to him, or the ladies of I forget what they're called. The ladies that are working the streets. No, they're not hookers. I enjoy talking to.
It's a different kind of world.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoy talking to them, so it's nice that you brought them up.
After the kiss goodnight is when the real action happens.
The ladies of the night.
Whoa. All right, let's clean this up. Back to Hollywood Studios. My what I consider the most magical thing is the Jedi Training Academy. I love it, whether you have kids or you don't have kids. Watching these kids on stage fighting Darth Vader, fighting Kylo Ren, going through everything. It's you can just relive it with them. You can live through them vicariously. You could fight with them. You can applaud them on, and their smiles after, and their excitement going, jumping up and down. It's just a blast. And if you go past there and you've never stopped, just go for 3-4 minutes. Just sit and watch, and it is very well done and just a joy. Just something that'll make you smile.
The best part about that is that it's free.
Yes.
Yep.
My favorite part is there's always one kid that's like super sugared up, who just takes that lightsaber and just starts beating people with it. It's so fun to watch that happen.
Yep. All right, so what's the meh there? We'll go. Steve, you go first with this. Okay. Now we're gonna let Steve put it on Steve.
Okay. I'm gonna say the old animation area, the Star Wars launch bay. That to me is definitely a placeholder. Definitely, yeah, it's great. You have the meet and greets there, but it seems so lackluster, and it seems like there's so much potential for something there. That you go through it. Yeah, it's cool. You see a couple of things. There's not enough props that you want to look at. They not enough areas for good photos, other than if you want to sit for a while and do the meet and greets and just go back and forth. I think it's a waste of space, and that's my meh.
I wonder if it's one of those things where once Galaxy's Edge opens, maybe that area will transform into something better. I'm gonna doubt it, but I hope that it does.
Yeah.
So I can certainly agree with you. There's nothing. It's not great. It really was much better before Star Wars came in there.
The film too is not that good. They show in there.
Right.
The best part is dreaming that you could afford the stuff that's in the store there.
Yeah.
If your numbers hit for that week, that you could buy, like a stormtrooper suit or something. But yeah, I do agree. It was cool at first when it was something Star Wars, and it was cool to go see. But you're right. It's a ton of space that they could find something better for.
What you got, Keith?
The quick service food is meh. There's probably only 2 spots in that park that I would choose to eat at. It's Fairfax Fair, which is really good. It used to be Minute and Bill's. They had that Italian sausage that was like baked inside of a bun, and it was with the peppers and stuff, and it was really, really good. But they took that away for a TV dinner thing. But the quick service food there is not that good. The sit downs are too pricey, so if you're really just in search for something to hold you over until you're done at the park. I've heard some good things about Woody's Lunchbox, but it's I'm sure it's so packed there that you'd wait 4 or 5 hours for a sandwich. The quick service food is not that good there.
I'm with you 100%. I think it's one of the worst aspects of the park.
Agreed.
There's no, I'm not, the table service areas either too expensive or they're, the theming is nice, but it can get a little annoying at times. And, Woody's Lunchbox does have some nice food. Still think it's way too salty. But I don't think that they've themed things properly. I mean, the best food there, the best quick service there, I still think is the pizza. That to me is a really filling meal at Pizza Rizzo.
Yeah, the meatball subs there are pretty good. If you need something, I've never had the pizza, but my mom got the pizza there, and she enjoyed it. But it's Disney pizza, so.
Yeah, we try not to eat at the studios. There's just nothing really there for us. Nothing jumps out at us. So it's one of the parks that we rarely eat at. So my meh was going to be the Indiana Jones stunt show there, because there has not been any updates to the show in 20 plus years. Nothing has changed. It's been the same exact show over and over and over. There's just no redeeming value to that show for me anymore. We might go see it when we come down, because my kids have never seen it before. We might. I don't know. It's just one of those things where you've done it once, you've done it twice maybe, and that's good. You don't ever need to see it again.
If you pulled the rope, because that just makes the whole thing for me.
That is funny though.
It's worth standing in line for.
Yeah. So let's head over to the Animal Kingdom there, and Steve, we're going to start with you with your meh at Animal Kingdom.
My Dino Land.
That's mine too.
It was probably intended to be a tongue-in-cheek area for kids, for fun, but really, you're really going to spend an entire area where I've got to pay to play games. You're going to have a nice little roller coaster that I can find, a mousetrap roller coaster I can find at any place. And yeah, the dinosaur is kind of fun, but I think the time is done. I think it's just time to really revamp that entire area, and I don't think putting the meet and greet of Donald Duck there with Donald's ancestors is the solution. It may be something stopgap, but it's not a solution.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I like the idea of why that was put there. The whole backstory was that the Dino Institute came up and people wanted to come visit the Dino Institute, so they decided to put these attractions in there to get people to, spend money and go see the dinosaurs and all that. But it just fails. The idea is nice, but it just fails. It just comes off cheap when you have the rest of Animal Kingdom, when you can walk into Africa, Pandora, and all that, and it's just everything is well themed. And you come into Dino Land, you're like, "What did I just walk into? Am I at my town fair? What's going on here? What happened at Disney World?" So that's just it's meh.
Yeah, Dinosaur Ride is cool, but it's a spine buster. I can't stand my back. Can't stand that ride. But like Sean said, it's like a county fair in the middle of Disney World.
Right.
It's weird. I guess for me, it's kind of the heat. It just gets so hot in that park. I try and, especially now, it's like I go there afternoon and evening. But I mean, it just gets so hot there. It is like a cheesy kind of an answer, but I just love that park a lot. But it just gets way too overcrowded and overheated for me.
That's why they call it Animal Kingdom hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, magic.
I like moments. To me, the best thing about Disney World is the magical moments, and the thing I enjoy is the winged encounters in the front near the Tree of Life. I think it shows maybe 4 or 5 times a day, and watching the macaw parrots fly over. There's 50 of them fly over the Tree of Life, and fly to that front stand, and then talk, and then take off in front of everyone again. To me, is just it's breathtaking to see that. To see a rainbow of parrots just coming over across the Tree of Life is just a phenomenal sight.
I have never seen that, and I always wanted to.
Oh, you got to. It's a tough thing because since it is right near the entrance and where the Tree of Life is, you have to figure out what time you can actually be there. The weather has to be just right, because if there's a weather problem, they're not going to have them fly. But it is just magical.
I agree. I've seen.
We were taking like a family picture right there, and the birds actually flew over top of us as they were taking the picture. It kind of freaked us all out because like the sound of them, you could hear them, and like all of us were standing there, and we just kind of like we looked up, and there was just all these birds flying over us. It was really, really cool to see.
What do you got, Keith?
I've got two. I tried to pick one and I couldn't. So the first one is just the theming, especially in Harambe, also Asia over by Everest. There's just so much to see. The small details, the paintings, the posters everywhere, the shrines and the prayer flags, and just so much effort and time went into theming that park that it's a joy to walk around it and look in corners and nooks and crannies and see what you find. I mean, it's just amazingly well done. And I know that we have talked about other parks that don't actually know what it is, and that park it gets it. It's so good. And the second one is the Tree of Life Awakening that they do at night. The projections are so well done. You stand there with your jaw dropped when animals that are carved on that tree, they come to life and start to move around, and then the colors and everything. A fantastic show to stand there and watch.
Yeah, the Tree of Life Awakening is also my magical part of the park.
I'm sorry, I stole it. I didn't mean
no, that's all right. That it's just because it's, like you said, it's just one of those things where you could just happen upon it and didn't know that was supposed to happen. So it's sort of like a magical moment in some ways. It's not necessarily planned. It's just happening in front of you. And I just like the idea of it, that the character, the animal comes to life being from in the carving on the tree using the projection. It's just amazing what technology has done and can continue to do. And seeing people's reactions to that when they see the animal come to life, it's just amazing.
And it's nice because it's not long. You can stay as long as you want. You can leave. The tales are told in like 2-3 minute increments.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And the first time I saw it, you're just stunned because you watch the animals, the fox going up and down the tree. Things jumping back and forth, and you start thinking, are your eyes deceiving you? Because they'll just pop in and pop out. Yep. It's just a lot of fun.
It is. All right, so let's go to everybody's favorite park, and that's Walt Disney World, as some people like to call it, or the Magic Kingdom.
I was gonna say, aren't we there already?
So we'll start with the meh there, and I guess I'll start off with the meh. And the meh for me is Tom Sawyer Island as a whole. While it's great location and it's a great place to find some quiet time when the park is busy or when you just want quiet time in general, I think that the space is pretty much lost and deserves more than what it has. Now, what to do there, that's the tough problem. I mean, that's like one of those things where having an Indiana Jones attraction would probably be perfect in there. I just don't know how it would work, but I just think that it's just a lost part of the Magic Kingdom.
Hear, hear. Agree completely. I mean, it's also it would be a great opportunity for testing or doing something with like Sorcerers of the Magic there.
Right.
To make it a little more interactive. You can run around, you can see things, and even if it's a scavenger hunt or something,
or a restaurant, something,
that's there other than just, hey, this is a nice area to walk around and find a couple quiet spots.
As soon as they stopped the paintbrush hiding, it kind of lost its luster, and people, I think, just kind of forget that it's even there.
Right.
Yeah.
What you got, Keith?
Sit-down restaurants. We've done a couple of sit-downs there. We don't do the character meals, so I can't really speak on those, but I think the Tony's is kind of like a Olive Garden-ish, just like a themed, okay Italian restaurant. I think that Be Our Guest is extremely overrated, overpriced.
It's definitely overpriced now with that new menu.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
We just went there for lunch one time, which was good, but I couldn't see actually spending what you get for the sit down at dinner. I just think that the sit downs they could do a whole lot better, like menu wise.
Oh, I agree. Totally agree. It's one of the that park has no sit down place, and Hollywood Studios has no quick service place.
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
And I mean, my go-to place at Magic Kingdom is Pecos Bill.
Yep.
It's got a good menu. You can sit down inside. There's good choices there, but yeah, you're absolutely right. The sit down there needs a lot. They need something that's not gonna break the bank.
Right.
Yeah. The canteen I ever heard is good, but it's just really pricey. I can't see spending that.
Skipper Canteen it's a good place. They've had to play around with their menu a few times because many people probably didn't get it, didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So I know they've gone through at least one change, maybe two overhauls. Service is good. The theming is good. It can be a little pricey, but you can share a lot of things there, and that's not a problem.
Right. All right. So what's meh for you there, Steve?
The Tomorrowland Speedway.
I'm on board for that.
I've mentioned this to a few people, and someone looking at me like I'm sacrilegious. I
see both points.
Yeah, I see both points. It is, from the one thing, they want to take care of the plastic straws, but it's okay to pollute the air with the...
Right, exactly.
And it's a huge footprint. There are many options that they have. Either, if you're just replacing the cars with something new, which has been talked about, been rumored for a long time, or getting rid of it. But that being said, what amazes me is still the wait time for that thing.
Yeah.
That, I guess I don't have kids. I guess people love to have their kids drive, though they're not going to drive straight, which is okay. But it's not that fun. If you want to go do go-karts, go to a go-kart place.
Yeah, I mean, for my kids love doing it. They enjoy it because they think they're really driving. They get a kick out of it. I've never taken them to a go-kart place. It's one of the things I'd like to do with them, but I just never know with my son if he's going to want to do it or not until he's actually there. And a lot of times you have to book your time ahead of time. But I understand why it's sort of an eyesore. It's loud. It smells. And I understand why a lot of people want it to go, and I can agree with that. It would bother me if it left, just because I have so many memories of my kids riding that. But I can get over it.
If they wanted to, they could actually do like a VR.
No, let's stay away from
Mickey's,
VR. No, no more VR.
Roadsters or something there, and they can still act like they're driving, and it's a lot smaller space to put it in.
Don't give them any ideas. No more screens, no more VR. All right, so let's go to the Magic. So Magic for me, being at the Magic Kingdom, it's going to be Main Street USA. To me, this is like the pre-show to the whole park. Everything that's happening is happening before you get further into the park. You have your first view of the castle, which is breathtaking and emotional for many people. People that have been there for the first time, or people that have been there 20, 30 times, they get emotional seeing that castle for the first time. It's the center of life for the park. The music, there's entertainment around you, especially in the early mornings. There's a lot of interaction with cast members that can happen there. You have some good snack options there. You know, whether you want to go to the bakery, you want to go to the confectionery, or you want to go to Casey's and grab yourself a hot dog or some corn dog nuggets, something like that. There's shopping. You could play the Sorcerers in the Magic Kingdom game there. You got the train there. It's just like if they built Main Street USA in New Jersey and they just put that whole area, I would be and no rides. I would just go there and hang out all day.
I would love to see that just plopped in Jersey. You're like, hey, I'm gonna go over there. I want a rice treat over here. Come here. That would be awesome.
You'd be here every weekend.
Yeah.
I love the way you put it. It's a precursor to the park. It's a pre-show. I don't know anyone who, as soon as you walk down, doesn't want to peek at that castle.
Yep.
You know, and for many people, it's I'm on vacation. I can relax now.
Yep.
This is my affirmation. I'm here.
Exactly.
Excuse me, sir. Which way is the spray tan booth? Is it over there?
All right, Steve, what you got?
Mine is Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell flying during the fireworks.
It's a good one.
Looking up in the air and seeing Tink come down from the castle to the back of to Tomorrowland. It's exciting. It's breathtaking. It's fun for kids to watch and look up and just go, "Oh my God, she's flying!" And even for adults to just get excited about it. That to me is like a really cool, magical moment.
I agree with you.
Agreed,
Keith, what you got?
Yeah. Well, I got two, of course.
God.
The first one, it kind of piggybacks on Sean's, but Dapper Dance on Main Street.
Love them.
It's one of those things, once again, if you see them, you have to stop and listen to them. If you don't, I swear that you have no soul. But the second one, I think, is overlooked a lot, which is the Muppets present great moments in American history that they do at Liberty Square. I think that it really brings the fun to that part of the park. Was sorely needed thing there. The Muppets are always fun. It's a funny show. The songs are good. It kind of brings that magic to a part of that park that doesn't really have a lot of magic in it.
I love the great moments in history, but only the American parts.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's so different when you're looking at the Muppets looking out of the windows, because it's just like, well, they're right there. They're within reach. Just fun.
Yep, I agree. All right, so I think that's going to do it for this week. Anybody else got anything else?
No, I've had extras, so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, you got like 8 more than the rest of us.
Only 2 more, shut up.
All right, so we want to thank our sponsors, Kingdom Strollers. Get your premium stroller and crib rentals at kingdomstrollers.com. Let the vacation experts at mouseprostravel.com help plan your next perfect vacation. And don't forget to check out our store at redbubble.com/Tiki Talk Podcast. You can connect with us on social media. Find us on Facebook at Enchanted Tiki Talk, Instagram, and Twitter at Tiki Talk Podcast. You can also leave us a message on the Tiki Talk hotline at 256-4MyTiki. That's 256-469-8454. And if you enjoy the show, please take the time to rate us on iTunes. You can find me, Sean, on Tikilicious at 1 Minute Disney Dream, 1MIN Disney Dream, MouseWorldVacations.com, and MousePros.com.
So gross. And you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Dole Whip Daily.
You can find me, Steve, at Disney Diary on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And you can also check out DisneyDiary.com for your latest news and updates.
Once again, thank you guys for joining me this week. We are Enchanted Tiki Talk. Alan, take it away.
Thanks for listening this week. For Sean and Keith, I'm Alan, and this has been Enchanted Tiki Talk. Aloha.
All right.
We are Enchanted Tiki Talk.
Enchanted Tiki Talk has been brought to you by MousePros.com. Let us plan your perfect Disney vacation. And MickeyMonthly.com, where you can get the park sent directly to you. And by KingdomStrollers.com for all your premium stroller and crib rental needs. For all of us here, I'm David Benter. Thanks for listening to Enchanted Tiki Talk.